Okay, I'm sure everyone knows someone who is just all talk and who says they're going to do something and then never ends up doing it. These kind of people are just like, can I trust you? And it's just kind of hard to believe them after they say that because it's hard to earn their trust. So there's a quote that says, a critic is a man who a critic is a man who knows the way but can't drive the car. So today I'm going to be talking about how it's bad to be all talk and how you should be informed about something before you give an opinion about it. So first of all, it's important to not be all talk because you can't okay, like people, for instance, my sister, she always says that she is going to go to school and she's going to be successful and she's going to get a job and all this stuff. But does she actually end up doing it? No. You see her sitting in her room, not doing anything, and it's kind of frustrating because you can't really depend on her and to know that she's and you want to help her and tell her, oh, like you should really get started and you should do something with your life, but she's all talk. She says she's going to do it and she's totally responded, but when it actually comes down to it, she doesn't end up getting it done. So this is kind of why it's important to not be all talk, and if you're going to say you're going to do something, do it, because it can be really important and beneficial in your future. And then second of all, it's important to be informed about something before you give your opinion on it, because if you're in an argument and you're trying to especially win, because when you're in an argument, that's your motive is to get your point across. So it's extra helpful if you actually know what you're talking about and you don't just say random things, because that can end up just making the argument worse in the long run. So it's important just to inform yourself about what it is that you actually want or your point that you're actually trying to make. So to conclude, it's important to not be all talk, and also it's important to be informed about what it is that you're actually trying to do or say.
You should try laughing to the side. I'm straight over.
Thank you.
All right, Taylor, I think you have a reasonable visualization at the beginning, but it would probably be better if you had an example that was a little bit more detailed so that we're not having to guess about one, but you could give us something to see in our head. I think you do an okay job transitioning to the topic. You've got a nice statement of what your purpose is, but you don't have a structure planned, you don't do a preview, and when you get started on the speech you suddenly realize that and you get stuck for a second. Now once you got back to your example that apparently you recalled, talking about your sister, then you did fine. You did that and you were much more naturalistic and it flowed more smoothly. But it really felt like for a second that you didn't really have a plan as to where you were going to head during the presentation, and I think that's a bit of a problem. The first example worked pretty well. Again, the second example I think needs a little bit more development, but there was a clear distinguishing mark between those 2 points, so I appreciated that. Presentation issues. Sometimes you hit a little high note with your voice when you get anxious. You're also doing a lot of smiling. You know, that's the kind of nervous kind of smiling that you want to do. You want the smile to be natural, not to, oh, I'm so embarrassed to be up here. You know, I can't remember what I'm saying. You don't want that kind of grin. You do look out at the center of the audience, so you're kind of speaking to this part of the group, but don't forget that there are people over there and people over there too. So when you watch back, you might notice that you're not including everybody as much as you might. And one of the ways that you can do that also is to maybe change the orientation of your body, which is hard for you to do when you've got your legs crossed like that. It looks a little bit awkward. You're off balance the time that you're speaking. I thought that you I thought that you had a reasonable summary and conclusion if I'm just listening to the words, but your voice makes it sound like you aren't quite sure that you are done and that that's what you wanted to say. So you want to make sure that you're consistent in the way you're delivering the speech too. All right, thank you.